Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome everyone who's here in the sanctuary and who's joining us from near and far, down the street, on Zoom, far away, connected and woven together by this 25-hour invitation to shift gears, to shut off devices, to only be attentive to the soul and the community, God and our tradition, and perhaps restore some of what might have been sucked out during the course of the week and replenish. So we'll begin this evening with Higale Na, which is on page 10 or page 252. It's the first line of the last verse. So the fourth verse, first line. We begin with the Chomer Anana, page 11 or page 254. The Chomer Anana.
בסרו מיום ליום ישועתו, ספרו בגויים כבודו, בכל העמים נפלאותיו, כי גדול אדוני ומולך מאוד, נורא הוא על כל אלוהים, כי כל אלוהי העמים בנדים, ואדוני שמיים עשה, עוד באהבה לבנה, עוד בתפארת במקדשו, הבו לאדוני משפחות עמים, הבו לאדוני כבוד ועוד, הבו לאדוני כבוד שמו, שאו מנחה ובואו לחצרותיו, ישתחוו לאדוני בהר הקודש, כאילו מפניו כל הארץ, יקראו בגויים אדוני נולד, אף תיכון תבל ואף תימות, ידינמים במשרים, ישמחו שמיים ותגל הארץ, ירם ירוס אדוני בכל השמות, אז ירננו כל עצי ימם, לפני אדוני יבא לשמור הארץ, ישכון תרם וצדק, ועמים ומושבות, היילה לילה שם אהבת תשמח ציון, ותגנה בנות יהודה למען משפטך אדוני. זרו על הצדיק ולשרי לב שמחה, שמחו צדיקים באדוני והודו לזכר קודשו.
17 or 256 Mizmor Shir Adonai Shir Hadash Ki Niflat Asao Shilon Odi Adonai Yeshuato Alei Agoyim Gilati Ariel Adonai Kol Haaretz Pitzchu V'Anenu Yiramayamum Lo Tivel V'Yosh Ve'Hiva Nerotim Chauchach Yachad Yachad Arim Yiraneinu Livnei Adonai Adonu Taretz Adonai B'Tzion Gadol. Page 20 or page 258.
ואהרון בכהנים ושמואל בכל שמו קוראים אל אדוני והוא יענה. והשתחוו להר קודשו כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו.
Please rise if you're able. Mizmor LeDavid, page 21 or page 260.
מזמור לדוד אבו לאדוני בני
Yeah.
be seated. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
The Maharal of Prague taught that in the previous Parashat Noach, the Torah begins by praising Noach as a righteous and perfect, or some say innocent, man. And then he asked, well, then why doesn't the Torah begin its account of Avraham here in this week's parasha, Lech Lecha, praising him as a righteous and God-fearing man? You would think the progenitor of our people would be given high praise at the start of his calling. The reason the Maharal gives is that if the Torah had described Avraham as a righteous man, it would have implied that the reason Avraham was chosen by God was because of that particular fact. And then if sometime in the future that quality would disappear, either in Avraham himself or in us, the Jewish people, then it would assume that God would then no longer want us or choose us. Now, Pirkei Avot teaches whenever love is dependent on some factor, when that factor disappears, the love disappears. And the Maharal of Prague associates this with why God didn't give Abraham a particular quality, because then if it went away, perhaps it would mean that God's love would go away. Now, this text, of course, could be utilized and is to affirm the chosenness of the Jewish people and Avraham himself, which is not in any particular quality, but just because of God's love for us. And that's a very complicated topic of which I'm not going to go through a discourse, because to give it short shrift is not worthy. It requires a lot of attention. But for me, what this commentary offers is a little bit of something different, which acknowledges the fact that one thing isn't consistent all the time, that we're not righteous at every move. And we saw that with Noach in spades, right? He was named righteous and innocent, but his whole character was poked holes in by the commentaries because they didn't think he was enough righteous or enough innocent. But with Avraham, the recognition is that he wasn't one thing, he wasn't named that, and in many ways, I think Avraham is one of the most inconsistent characters in the Torah. He both fights for justice, but then offers up his son for sacrifice. He is both beloved and loves his wife Sarah and protects her, and he offers up twice her as his sister. From moment to moment, in this week's parasha, in next week's parasha, we're kind of waiting on pins and needles to see what is the man going to decide. How is he going to choose? How is he going to go in every particular moment? And we see that it's not always the same. And one of the things that I love, and the tradition, by the way, wrestles with that about Avraham. Why this here and that there? It doesn't like inconsistency, the tradition. But one of the things that I love, even though it's not named in the Torah about Avraham, is all the qualities that the commentaries give to him, which are not about necessarily he was this, but Avraham is noted as someone who's a walker, because it says lech, that he's someone who walks. He goes, and he goes in Hasidic tradition from madriga to madriga, that he goes from one level to the next, which means he's not static. He's always, in a sense, on the move in the spiritual sense. And another thing also about Avraham is that he was faithful. He was willing to go without everything being told about what would be. And so that quality is a navigational quality of life, faith that says it's not necessarily going to be what you know at every moment, but it carries you through from moment to moment. And another quality of Avraham that is hinted out in a Hasidic teaching on the end of last week's parasha teaches that Terach, Avraham's father, was only willing to go halfway of the journey, but Avraham was willing to go all the way of the journey, which is another reason why he was chosen. And the sense is that Avraham is willing to plod along, and in fact, one of the major stories of Avraham, of which this week's parasha begins, Lech Lecha, his call, is that he's tested 10 times according to the tradition. Each step along the way, it's not like he just got a pass. God, the Torah, teaches us that at each step, he's choosing again and figuring out again and questioning again. And for some of us, failing this time and serving as a righteous man the next time. And for me, that actual real life story of Avraham about not naming him because of something that will forever be true, but recognizing that life is not a static quality in us, and that's not why we're loved, is because we're one perfect thing. And life doesn't deliver us a straight path that says you can be this way at all times, in all places. But ultimately, in choosing Avraham and telling us the very complicated, inconsistent, and powerful story of Avraham, our tradition is saying, this is who we are as a people. Choosing how to act at different moments, asking to have faith, walking along the way, hoping we can ascend even when we fail, and not settling for only going thus far, but moving beyond that and striving for a promised land that we have yet to be at. And so as we read the story of Avraham and his walking and his calling this Shabbat, let's not think of Avraham as an untouchable, perfect progenitor of our people, but perhaps the one who struggles to find his way, choosing how to be, and still walking when things are hard, and finding the promised land over and over again. We turn to Lecha Dodi, page 23, or page 262.
בשלום, עטרת בלגן בשמחה, ובצונתו אמוני עם סגולה בוזכרה. שבת
standing. This Shabbat we welcome in our mourners on Zoom, and we're standing for you here. We extend our condolences to Tom and Donna Devine on the death of Tom's mother, Rita Devine, who was 97 and lived a long and beautiful, beautiful life. And we extend the words of condolence, which are on page 264 and 26. Hamakom Yinechem Echem Betok Sha'ar Avlei Zion V'Yerushalayim. May the divine comfort you along with all the other mourners of Zion and Yerushalayim. You may be seated. Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat, page 27 or page 266. We'll daven until we get to Magadlu, which is about 8, I think, lines, right in the middle, 8 lines from the bottom. Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat,
ביתך נא בקודש אדוני לאורך ימים.
invite to rise if you're able for Baruch Hu on page 39A or 279.
Moshe, Miriam, Ubnei Yisrael.
כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל.
We continue to pray for peace. Hashkivenu, page 45 or page 292. Hashkivenu,
Shalom, Avinenu, Malkeinu, L'chaim, Ufos, Aleinu, Sukkot, Shalom, 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 Beitzat, Avraham, Yochanan, Halosh.
ושמור צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ולשלום מעתה ועד עולם.
Yitkada v'yitkada shmei Rabba Lama tirach yirtei v'amlich malchutei V'chayechonu yomechonu chayetecho beit Yisrael B'agala ובזמן קריב יבראו אמן ישמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה יתברך וישתבח ויפאר וידרמה ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמי תקדשה ברכו לעילה מכל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תמיד המלך נמרו אמן. We face Yerushalayim, page 47 or page 296 for the silent Amidah for Shabbat. joining on page 53 or 314 for Vayechulu. Vayechulu hashamayim va'aretz v'chol tzeba'am v'chalayim bayom hashvi'i melachto asher asa vayishbo bayom hashvi'i mikol melachto asher asa vayvarech Elohim et yom hashvi'i vayikadesh oto ki bo shabbat mikol melachto asher bara Elohim la'asot.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah האל הגדול הגיבור והנורא אל עליון קונה שמיים וארץ
מגן אבות מדברו וחיי פליטים מאמרו האל הקדוש שאין כמוהו
המניח למו ביום שבת קודשו כי במרצה להניח להם
לפניו נעבוד ביראה ופחד ונודה לשמו בכל יום תמיד
נאון הברכות אל הודעות אדון השלום מקדש השבת ומורך שביעי
מניח בקדושה לעמד ושני עונג
זכר למעשה בראשית
אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו אמותינו רצה במנוחתנו קדשנו את זאתך ותן חלקנו בטובתך זבנו בטובך ושמח נפשנו בישועתך וטהר ליבנו לאהובתך באמת והנחילנו אדוני אלוהינו באהבה וברצון שבת קודשך ינוחו בישראל מקדשי שמך ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
Continue with Kaddish Alem, page 54 or page 314.
יתגדל ויתקדש שם רבה ויעלמה דברה קהילותי ובית מלכותי וחייכון ובימכון ובכל בית ישראל בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן יש מרבה מברך לעלם ולעלמי עלמה יתברך
וישתבח ויפאר ותרומה מנעשה ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמי תקודשה ברכו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תשבחתה ונחמתה דמירם בעלמה ואמרו אמן
תתקבל צדובתון לכו ישראל קדם עוון וישמעיה ואמרו
אמן יש למה רבה משמעיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן עושה שלום במרומיו ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו
On the Shabbat, we will invite David Seibel up for his bar mitzvah tomorrow morning, but tonight for Kiddush, as he will lead us in the sanctification of the day. Page 55 or page 318, and those joining us at home, we invite you to grab wine or grape juice and join us for Kiddush.
You can take off your mask. The bar mitzvah can take off their mask.
Yep, we always forget.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah
right? You can drink, yeah. The sweetness of that. And we continue. We look forward to celebrating tomorrow morning, and we continue with blessings for our children. Hamalach HaGoeloti, page 692 in the Sim Shalom. And we'll invite any children that are here with us in the sanctuary to join us under our talit, under the Chuppah talit that we're creating. And it can also be children who are visiting us or maybe grew up here that are no longer children, if you want to join us too.
You can hold the talit. Ian is back from college. He doesn't want to be under the talit, but he can hold it. Welcome back, Ian.
ויקרב בהם שמי בשם אבותיי אברהם ויצחק ויתגול הרוב בקרב הארץ. And we say for the boys, Yisimcha Elohim Kefraim Menashe, and for the girls, Yisimech Elohim Kesara Rivka Rachel Velea. Together, Yevarechecha Adonai veYishmerecha, Yaer Adonai panav elecha veichuneka, Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha. Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Continue with Aleinu, page 56 or 320.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שכונות כתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
You may be seated. We'll continue with Mourner's Kaddish on page 58 or on page 324 in the Sim Shalom, inviting those in our community who are marking a yahrzeit or who are saying Kaddish to rise if you're able to, and those joining us on Zoom to unmute as we say Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah ve'alma divra v'yurtei ve'amlich malchutei v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala u'bizman kariv v'imru amen. Yesh shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'olmei maya. Yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yipa'ar, v'yitramam v'yinatzeh, v'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, shemed kudsha brichu, le'elam, mikol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata, v'nechemata, t'amiram be'alma, v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shamaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, v'yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru. Amen. Shabbat shalom, everyone
Shabbat shalom.
who are here with us and who are at home. Our community of B'nai Jeshurun, we extend our sincere condolences to the following members and their families, to Tom and Donna, who we greeted, Divine, who we greeted on Zoom and escorted in on the death of Tom's mother, Rita Divine, and to Gail Ressler on the death of her aunt, Rose Ressler Khan. And on the other side, we say Mazal Tov, and we're very excited for tomorrow morning to hear more from David Seibel, and we say Mazal Tov to Laura Goldenberg and Howard Seibel, his parents, who are here with us, and all the family that's joining us. We look forward to continuing the celebrations as you become a bar mitzvah. And we also say a Mazal Tov to Jeffrey Lewis and Amy Kaplan on the upcoming wedding of their daughter, Samantha Lewis, to John Strepa, and we say Mazal Tov to Sarah Slavin and Christopher Barada on the birth of their daughter, Shoshana Gloria Barada. And our final Mazal Tov or congratulations is to Operations Crew Supervisor Alex Diaz, who passed the final part of the fire and life safety as a director test. So we're very excited about that and grateful for all the ways that he keeps us safe every day. Tomorrow morning, we'll be back together again at 9:30 for Shacharit. And before Shacharit, we'll actually have Hachana Letzfilah, which is a preparation with Roli and a way to sing a little bit and get into the tefillot of Shabbat, and that'll be happening in the chapel at 8:45 to 9:25, and you'll get a 5-minute break, and then we'll be here together at 9:30, and again to celebrate the bar mitzvah with David and his family. And tomorrow morning, we will also have our early childhood services, which will be happening upstairs, and there will also be a service that's happening at 11:15 on the Family Life and Learning Facebook page. The one upstairs is at 10:15. And we're going to have our 3rd through 6th grade family service happening on the roof, Kulanu, at 10:30. So it will be a full house, an intergenerational house, which we are thrilled is back and thriving. And at the very end of Shabbat, we will invite everyone to gather with us on Zoom for Aravit and Havdalah, which will be at 7:05. So Shabbat, we're heading toward winter, and it's getting a little shorter, although Shabbat always stays the same 25 hours, as Felicia said when we began. So we are grateful to be at the beginning of that. And with that, I will say Shabbat Shalom. I'll also invite anyone who's new, if you want to introduce yourself to someone that you haven't met, or to introduce yourself to me if I haven't had a chance to meet you, or to Ari or Felicia. We look forward to meeting you and wishing you a Shabbat Shalom. We'll conclude our services this evening on page 73 or 722 with Shalom Aleichem as we greet our Shabbat angels.
מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שלום עליכם מלכי השרת מלכי עליון ממלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא איי 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 שלום עליכם מלכי השרת מלכי עליון ממלך מלכי המלכים Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Amrachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Brochem l'Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Amrachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Ay ay ay, brochem l'Shalom, Malachei Shalom. Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei העליון, ממלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. צאתכם בשלום, מלכי השלום, מלכי עליון, ממלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. איי איי איי, צאתכם בשלום, מלכי השלום, מלכי עליון, ממלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, umevorach.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, and I'm gonna do a Bruchim Habayim. I understand that there's a group of mayors from Israel, so Bruchim Habayim to New York.
Bruchim Habayim.
Bruchim habayim. Shabbat Shalom.